Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, drivers and spectators, and welcome to the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the $2 million car, high-performance, expert racing, endurance race. I'm your host, Carter Morgan, and I'll be hosting today's safety briefing. To start off, actually, hold on. I have just received word there's been budget cuts and a typo. We're actually covering today, we're going to cover 24 hours of lemons. To go over today's preview of laps, we have 4 laps we're going to cover. First, we're going to go over what it is and the history. Second, we're going to go over the rules and regulations. Third, we're going to go over the awards and penalties. And finally, in lap 4, we'll conclude with the charity and the community surrounding 24 Hours of Lemons. So what is 24 Hours of Lemons? It is a $500 car endurance race based around a whole entire weekend. It was started back in 2006 by a guy named Jay Lamb. It was actually based on a previous race called the Double 500, a 500-kilometer rally race for $500 cars. But Jay thought, that's too easy. Let's make it an endurance event. So the event started in San Francisco and expanded to the Midwest, East Coast, and even to the international level, with New Zealand and Australia being very large participants in their own countries. Let's steer into lap 2, where we will cover. Hold on, let's take a break.
Last second just to try and get the thing running so we can go back and get our 2 laps. Lucas is at the wheel. Finnegan's jamming a bunch of electrical stuff together. If something's wrong with the starter, we're not sure the engine's going to start. This is actually kind of high pressure. All right, let's go. And we're going to push start it right now.
So this gives you a small taste of what goes on during Lemons, but you'll keep learning and keep seeing as we go into lap 2. So if there's a lot of rules and regulations when it comes to racing cars, it turns out it's kind of a semi-dangerous event. The basis of it is the purchase price of the car and the modifications on the car for the event must not exceed $500. You can sell parts off the car to take money off your total. So if you have a bumper, you sell that, you're down more. Next, we have it must be a mass-produced 4-wheel vehicle that was legal for U.S. highway use at the time of manufacture. It also must have an original factory curb weight of less than 4,200 pounds. That means you can't bring your big old truck to Lemons. And finally, there's a lot of safety rules. You must have a 6-point roll bar, fire suppression suit, DOT, Snell approved racing helmet, and all the proper safety equipment. There's actually a lot of rules for safety, but safety equipment does not count towards the final $500 of your car. And each car must pass a tech inspection and a BSF test. The BSF test is a judge looks at your car, and for every $10 he thinks that you spent above the $500 limit, you are docked 1 lap. There's actually a lot of very specific rules regarding roll bar clearance and fire suppression equipment and all the driver safety equipment that you need to not die while racing a $500 car. So let's steer into lap 3. There's going to be our awards and our penalties. So there are actually 3 performance classes of this race, and the winner of each class is paid $500 in nickels. We have Class A, which is cars with a prayer of winning. We have Class B, which is a cars with a prayer of finishing. And then Class C, which is cars with no prayer of finishing. For the awards, we have the index of effluency, which is basically the car that looks like it's not going to win, but actually does pretty good, gets that award. We also have the organizer's choice, which is the judge's favorite car, favorite team, for whatever it may be at the time. There's also a lot of other made-up ones on the spot. We have win on laps, which is the overall winner of the whole entire race, no matter the class. We also have a lot of other made-up ones, the People's Curse, the Best in Class. A lot of the stuff for Lemons is just made up on the spot fun Next, move on to the penalties. There are a lot of penalties for car contact and rule infractions, and some of them are kind of strange. One of them will be the wheel of misfortune. You spin a wheel, and there's a random physical punishment on the wheel. One of them being the archangel. The angel will come along and weld a non-aerodynamic farm animal onto the top of your car as punishment. You also have the Why Am I Upside Down award / punishment. If you get your car upside down, you are slapped with the Why Am I Upside Down punishment, and you are barred from racing for the rest of the competition. And finally, we have the Mime Your Crime penalty. The infractor of the rule must dress up in mime apparel and makeup and act out the crime they committed or rule infraction that they committed. And all of these are designed to waste the time of a lousy driver who doesn't know what they're doing and give more time to the better and less aggressive drivers. Finally, we're going to steer into lap 4. We will be covering the community and the charity events behind 24 Hours of Lemons. It is actually a very creative race where teams can show all the strange cars with all the strange buildings on it and designs. And it's one of the most fun things about the event is the themes and fun and creativity behind all the cars. It's not completely serious, but it is still competitive. And finally, one of the goodwill efforts of the organization is OK Stupid. So if you have a want to be in 24 Hours of Lemons, but you have no set team, they'll match you with a team, courtesy of OK Stupid. And then finally, you have their actual goodwill effort that betters other people called Lemons Aid, which is an organization that fixes and works on cars for lower income families that can't afford real mechanic work or other mechanical services. And so at each Lemons event, they have stands set up where they help lower income families fix their cars and get them back on the road. So to conclude today's 4 laps, we have the what it is and the history, and then we have the rules and regulations, which there are so many of, but you should probably still read the whole entire pamphlet. Then we have the penalties and awards, and finally, we have the community and the charity surrounding it. In conclusion, you're racing $500 cars. The whole entire weekend, you're going to be fixing it, working on it, and having fun with other teams. And you really can't expect to win, let alone finish, but it's still a great event for someone who enjoys this kind of stuff. Thank you.